Welcome to Pull the Pin Radio, place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
Or I promise you, I'm going to give them to you anyway.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Nate. Let's pull a pin already.
You know why I'm laughing this time, Nate?
I have no idea why.
I literally in my head was rehearsing this intro because I felt like, what was it? And I couldn't come up with the intro. And I said, I'm just going to go with it. And it just came to me naturally. I guess we've done it enough, right? Almost 400 times here. We're almost on a 400th episode, man. You believe that? You know, and that's 400 episodes, what we called War Room. That's not counting all the individual ones or the other ones. So we're probably over 400 already somehow. Not that we get a prize for that because we have no prizes for anything yet. We don't even really have subscribers except for you, Johnny and Christine, and we appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you. I thought we had a new subscriber. We had a comment, but it was somebody trying to solicit some business. So that one didn't work out well. But we do see your comments, Christine and Johnny. We do see them. Like I said, it's just sometimes we just don't have the convenience of getting back to them. We don't carry this stuff on our phones and stuff like that. So it's not as easy for us. But we do appreciate it. We appreciate your input. And we thank you just for being there. But anyway, why are we here, right, Nate? That's what you're asking, right? So
yeah. What are we here for? What do we do here?
Well, we are here to talk about some headlines that we pull from the mainstream media, quote unquote, and talk about them from our perspectives, whether we read the article or not. And why is our perspective important, Nate?
Yeah, we're average veterans. We've been around the world and we know everything.
Yeah, so we're going to tell you how to think, feel, and react to all the headlines because probably what's in them is not really what the headline says. So we're just going to tell you what to think. So let me give a caveat, though, too, because people may have noticed we kind of brushed over and ignored like the big headline, the Trump conviction thing. But I don't know what else to talk about it because we all knew it was coming, right? Like we all knew he was going to get convicted of because it was all a show trial anyway. So we knew the script was already written. So there's nothing else to talk about it. But now that the aftermath is here, I think we pulled a couple headlines. Well, I pulled a couple headlines. You'll see later on that we pulled a couple headlines within this, and we'll talk about it in that perspective. I just want to address that because I feel like people would be like, well, Johnny and Christine might be like, hey, why didn't you guys talk about the Trump conviction? But we're going to do it in an aftermath way because I think nobody's really surprised what happened. So anyways, but we'll get to some other stuff first, maybe something you might be interested in. Let's just throw some headlines out there and get going here. NBA stars slam Caitlin Clark's teammates for failing to defend her from bullying.
Gotta agree. You do that to somebody in the NBA, their team is going to come right up and defend them.
You know, this is I guess it just goes to show you the state of where we're at, right? I mean, if this woman had been a person of color, this would be a whole different scenario. I mean, not that it's abnormal to test rookies, right? Because we all do. I mean, I'm a hockey fan more than I am basketball anyway. But, you see it. The rookies get hit pretty hard by guys. And then that's why you got guys in your team to go pummel them dudes. So it happens. It happens because you're testing and welcome to the big leagues. You want to set the pace and all that. But watching what happened in that one video, because I don't watch it. I'm never going to watch basketball. And then being educated by some of the sportscasters about what she's doing for that sport. Now, you can argue all you want that, people of color have been busting their ass trying to make that sport something. But how do you argue what the people like? You know what I mean? You could be as mad as you want that, this show. We could be as mad as we want that we don't have 1 million subscribers. We're not making a lot of money. But at the end of the day, if people don't like it, what are we mad at? How can we be mad? I could be jealous at Joe Rogan because everybody watches his stuff. Like, they're just haters, really is what it is. And don't think we don't really bust our ass, but, we put in some work to do this. So, then you get somebody on TikTok and just make a video and all of a sudden they're famous for stupid point shooting, you know what I mean? But that's what people like. So How am I going to be mad? I could be a little jealous, envious for sure, which let's be real. That's what this is. It's envy. You know what I mean? It's envy. It's envy. And, so most of our sports have been, majority of people of color and rightfully so. I mean, you can contribute athletics to a race if you'd want or not. I mean, everybody can form their stereotypes, but yeah. So I don't understand what's going on. I mean, I understand it. I just don't understand why they're allowing it because it's like the other politics in the country. You're shooting yourself in the foot. This woman is making WNBA putting it on the map, and you're mad because she's not your color or she wasn't in the league long enough. Like, are you kidding me? So I mean, this just shows you how emotions get in the way of logic and common sense, and it's sad, but it's I get it. It's normal. So that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah,
I,
I agree.
I didn't cross any lines out doing that. I know we got to be very careful because
Yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, I don't know why teammates aren't defending. Like you know, any team you're on, baseball, someone gets hit with the pitch, the whole dugout comes out.
right, right, and
I
you
mean,
think that's something for respect, right? Maybe if there's a guy on your team that, but even like in hockey, even like I said, even if you don't respect the dude, you're going to make your team look like ass, which has happened right here from this headline. You know what I mean? You got people calling out the team.
like people say, "Oh, look, their record's no good." Well, when you're the number one pick in the draft, you usually go to the worst team in the league.
Correct, obviously.
So you're
Well,
probably not going to be that good your first year, two or three maybe, until you get other players to help you.
well, it goes back to what I was saying. It's just a way to pull some fault, and I get it, dude, because I've been there. I'm guilty. I won't be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? I'd be envious and jealous of people. I'll pick apart the one thing that isn't good. But at the end of the day, even she's got a great attitude about it. You know, she's like, "Oh, you just got to handle it, deal with it, whatever." She don't let it get to her. You know,
Yeah, I
so
mean she's handling well, but like the NBA player said, your team has got to defend you.
yeah, and that's why your team's going to suck if you don't support each other.
Yeah,
It's just that simple. Because if you don't trust your own teammates, if you don't support them, like you can look at that. There's players. Hell, I think what's it, Marchant from Boston, the dirty ass guy. You know, there's been players of the past too. You know, I mean, they come on these teams and they're just dirty players, and you don't like them when they're against you, but when they're on your team, you always love them, you support them. You know, because it's on your team. Like this is just sour. So WNBA, if you're watching this or any of you watch this, not that you do, but don't bite the hand that feeds you. You're going to ruin your entire sport after this woman is almost single-handedly bringing it to the surface. Like, stop. Just
yeah.
stop. You could be a hater all you want, but just stop. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't care about that.
I'm gonna
You know what?
stop this headline.
Yeah, WNBA's got too much headline already for. All right, so this one's interesting. Mexico election is most violent since 2018 with 749 victims.
Victims of
Now,
what? Not being elected.
no,
Victims
I'm
of
assuming this is death related, but
oh, okay.
I don't know if you know this, but it was a far left candidate that won. So I don't know what that means,
Means
but
Mexico voted for who they wanted.
well, or let's entertain this for a second, or Mexican elections are rigged and the people are fed up.
Or could be.
It could be either or, right? It could be either or, and I guess only time will tell. I mean, and the reason it fascinates me is because if you don't think this is possible in the United States, I mean, this is it right here. This is it. I mean, that's a third world country as far as I'm concerned, so the violence is more prevalent and obvious. But there is a breaking point.
Is
You know, what I
Mexico
mean,
third? Is Mexico third world? I don't think they're
well,
third.
maybe it's not, but it acts like one. All right, let's maybe not by the standards of third world, but they act like one.
So
You know,
does the
still
U.S.
run.
kind of. So does the U.S. kind of right now. So
Well, right, correct. I agree. I agree. I'm not going to disagree. So we're all of them. Canada too. This is a third world continent. Um, but you know, the point I'm getting at is this is very possible, and the slippery slope in all this is the Democrats say they cheat, which they are, and they're going to cheat, and then they win the election, and then people get pissed off. People getting pissed off and doing anything, you know, violent is just going to be like, well, see, we told you they were violent. You know, so really there's no winning in any of this stuff. I mean, the real winning for the American people is a system of integrity. And I just don't understand why integrity is so hard these days. I mean, I understand why integrity is hard because we're all people, we're all sinners, and even I pride myself with a lot of integrity, still slip up and have to fight for it every day. You know what I mean? But just the willful uh, disobedience of just the truth is so prevalent and so common. It's disturbing. Like it's disturbing, really. Ignorance is one thing, but when you're out flat out lying, like you know, when you look at the Trump conviction, which I know we didn't talk about, but the thing he just got convicted of, Clinton did worse, Biden did worse. So you've
There's
got two people on both sides of Trump.
there's missing information according to Facebook when you say that. So
Right, of course, of
I want to
course.
I want to know what the missing information is that you have.
But who's behind Facebook? Not some computer, right? It's people. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. People who are doing this crap. It's one thing to say, okay, well, it's not worthy of a crime, or let's prosecute all these criminals, but you can't pick and choose which one you're going to prosecute. You just can't. Now, there are circumstances that may lean you one way or another. That's why we have certain laws that say, hey, if you're fighting in self defense, you can kill somebody. You know what I mean? Like, not like you're trying to kill, but if you have intent to kill somebody, you're wrong. But if somebody dies due to you defending yourself, it's not a crime. There's a reason for those things. But when you pick and choose which person you want to take to the full extent of the law and which one you don't, this literally, you can't have it both ways. Because one hand, you got a bunch of people saying, oh, the justice system's corrupt and people of color go to jail more often. And I was even willing to overlook that as saying, that's circumstantial. But now, after seeing it, I kind of understand what they're getting at now, because you can rig, juries, and you could be in areas where, people are, I don't want to say racist, because I think racist is so unfair, maybe biased. You know what I mean? This is way deeper than I want to go on this anyway, but the point is this is a foreshadow of what could happen here, and there's no winning either way, because if the left is hoping for violence to prove their point, that's kind of destructive. So you're really going to lose.
All
So
right.
either
Well,
way, we lose.
since you like Trump so much, let's move on.
Yeah, and this is what's fascinating. This is what's proving how they're going to lose, because May becomes a 300 million month for Trump campaign. So I don't know if you saw his campaign financing the moment after he was convicted.
Boom! It went up.
I mean, I think it hit 150 million within hours, within 12 hours.
I need to be
And
convicted of something.
and they said seven, yeah, right? But you're not running, so you don't have campaign funds.
uh,
And they said I think they said 70 million. This is back when it was 100. I think they said 70 million of that was from small donors. So you think small donors, maybe $5, $10, you know what I mean? Maybe $100. How many of those make up 70 million? You know what I mean? Even if every donor made a dollar, that's 70 million people. That's a lot of damn people. So that shows you why this failed, because literally they are pitting half of the country against the other half.
oh yeah.
Like, it'd be different if you went after a small group like the LGBTQ community. That's a small faction of the people in this country, which they try to exacerbate and make it like they're the regular norm. Everything's, you know what I mean? That's what everything is, because you can't watch a movie, a TV series without gay stuff in it. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. They try to make it like it's the norm, but the actual norm is half the country likes Trump, half doesn't. And when you alienate half of the country, that's really not a good thing. Like, you can go after the libertarians, right? Because they're just a small percentage, right? But if you go after a Democrat or Republican, you got a problem. You just got a problem. You got to find a win-win for everybody, or you're going to lose no matter what. And I think that's the problem. And Trump's proven right here that people are fed up with these stupid games.
Did you see all the riots that happened when they were found guilty? Oh,
No, I didn't. That's
hold
weird,
on.
right?
Never
Isn't that
mind.
weird, right? They didn't burn
Never
down the
mind.
city. Isn't that weird? Yeah.
How-
Well, it just goes to show you it's hierarchy, dude. It's not even hypocrisy anymore. It's just not hypocrisy. It's a group of people who think they know what's best for everybody, and they're right and you're wrong. It's just that simple.
I mean, the real way to figure out she got that money was to ask for her tax returns for that year, and it wasn't $160,000 on tax returns. Then she didn't get money, right? You
Right,
got
right.
got to claim it as income, right?
Right, of course. I mean, the whole thing is just it's all a joke. Like, that's why I don't even want to bother talking about it. It's just a freaking joke. It's a rigged judge, you know what I mean? It's just so sad. Even, like, how does a judge have that much power? And then how does a jury who all hates him come in and reach a fair, we people can't even not cheat on their taxes, probably not cheat on anything. They walk through life cheating on everything, lying about everything, and then they're going to go in there and give somebody a fair trial. And that's what makes me think that maybe personal bias are a little too much for um, the court systems. Maybe we've gotten so far off as a society. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah, and I
could.
and I think even if you go in there and don't even know the person that you're a jury for, you already have thoughts of what you believe is right and wrong.
Right. Correct. Correct. And even, have you ever sat on a jury?
No, I have not.
I've done one as an alternate, and I was the only one taking notes. And then they took me off. There were 13 of us, and I was the extra one. They were like, "Oh no, you're out." I'm like, I wasn't supposed to be the alternate, but I guess they saw I was taking notes and they wanted me out. So, but yeah, it was, like I said, I was taking notes because I was taking the trial on the merits. I can look at the people and say, hey, that looks like a bad dude. I can say, hey, this company looks like they've been doing shady stuff for whatever. It's likely they're doing it again. So I formed my opinion, but the question is, did they prove it? You know what
Right.
I mean? Just because someone's bad, just because you don't like Trump, did they prove he did what he did? First of all, did they even identify a crime? They didn't. It's the whole thing is ridiculous. That's why I didn't want to talk about it, because it's just stupid. And anybody that is cheering for this just doesn't like Trump. And they're so, I'm gonna say this for the last time, probably not. You, dude, I don't want to say stupid. You've got to be the biggest moron if you think that they're not going to come for you one day. Just because they're using the system to go after your enemy doesn't mean they can't use the system to come after you. So you need to get a backbone, not you, Ray. You know what I'm talking about. The people know I'm talking to. They need to get a backbone and stand up for what's right,
Probably no
what's
one watching
fair
this show.
and just. Right. Well, I don't know. Maybe, I'm sure. Yeah, probably nobody I'm talking to is. Right. Because I'm sure Johnny and Christine probably good people and they don't have to get this lecture. But you understand what I'm saying? That's the whole thing in this. I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't care. This is not about Trump. This is about the government, the powers that be, not even the government. I don't call it the government. The people that are controlling this country, that the rich or the powerful people in this country, using the system we got against the people they don't like. That's what it's about. And we have a constitution that protects you from that, but it's just sad. And it's coming for you next. It's coming for you. Once all I saw a good article. It says once Trump is gone, and then all the Trump supporters are gone, and then all the conservatives are gone, who's going to protect you? Because you're next. You're next.
Well, since you like Trump so much,
All right. So yeah, this is good for the election campaign stuff. Trump says he'll release classified files on JFK, 9/11, Epstein during second White House term. Now I'm gonna tell you, this is for all the libertarians out there.
doesn't he have to get declassified first? Can a president just declassify stuff?
Well, yeah, he can. He
He don't-
actually can.
doesn't
That's
need
what
any
the whole
more.
that's what the whole classified document scandal was about.
Yeah.
He's allowed to take documents home because he can declassify them.
Oh,
Joe Biden was not a president. He was not a president, and he took classified documents home. He has no authority or power to do that.
he didn't know he had
But
them.
let's overlook that because Trump did this. Look what Trump did. It's like I said, everything Trump was accused of is either happening right now with Joe Biden, maybe not him, his administration, or has happened with the previous people before him. So it's just so ironic that there's so many morons out there who don't see this just because they blinded and they hate because they watch it. Because I tell you, I talked to a lady and she's a Trump hater, and she immediately told me when I started saying, I said, "You don't understand this." She's, "Where do you get your information from? Fox?" I'm like, "No, I don't watch Fox News because I don't trust any of those clowns either." I mean, but at the end of the day, that's what they do. That's their go-to. Like, you must be wrong because you're watching the other team. Like, no, I'm a common sense human being who's lived a very long life for long enough that I can differentiate between when somebody's blowing smoke up my ass and not. You know what I mean? And you can't. You obviously can't.
Dude, what
You
are you
cannot.
watching? CNN?
Right. I mean, you obviously can't tell when somebody's blowing smoke up your ass. And then here I'm thinking, like, no wonder your marriage sucks. No wonder you're not in a relationship, right?
I mean, I do watch Fox, but it's Fox Sports. Is that different?
Not much. It's just a percentage of politics in Fox Sports is probably the same, but they're probably more left leaning anyway. I think they're all.
Wow.
I think
I
they're
don't know.
all
I just watch it for
lunatics.
the sports part. I don't watch it
Well,
for
well,
political
think
parts.
about it, buddy. Just like this headline, dude. You know what I mean? JFK, 9/11, Epstein. Those are exciting things people want to see and hear. Why? Don't you already have your opinions on this stuff? Why would this be important? Because it generates views and people get excited about all this stuff, and you know what I mean? So that's all the
Yeah.
media is about. What kind of media would you have if they said, "Oh, Mrs. Jones walked her dog again today and she cleaned up her poop, no incidents." You know what I mean? Who would watch that stuff?
Wonder who his running mate's going to be.
Well, who knows? That's going to be a big controversial thing too, because he needs to pick somebody that's an insurance for him. You know what I mean? He needs to pick somebody that they won't want as president.
Like who?
I don't know. I'm just saying it can't be somebody on the right. Can't be the Democrat. It can't be your Nikki Haley types. It can't be those people because that's what they want. So if they want that, then they don't mind the president stepping down or having to step down. Or
Oh, gotcha.
so he needs to make sure that whoever's behind him is just as much a threat to their crooked ways as he is.
You don't think it'd be his former running mate?
Oh, what you mean? You mean his former vice president?
Yeah.
Oh hell no! That's a perfect one. They would. Believe me, Trump wouldn't last long if they had somebody like that in. But anyways, yeah, we're not gonna last long in this episode, so we're gonna get out of here. So
We did last long in this episode.
yeah, it went too long, but that's
Not too long.
I get on these little tangents. I don't know. You gotta stop me. But
I
anyway,
do.
Nate, thanks
Next
for being
headline.
here. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in, all of you. Nikki, I said Nikki. Christine and Johnny. Why would I say Nikki? Because Nikki Haley's on my mind. God, what a joke. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell, all that stuff. And then until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin ready. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.